Good morning, property investors. My name is John with Real Property Management. Today we're going to talk about 5 easy ways that you can make more money in your rental properties, your real estate investments. Now, this time of year, we're recording this in January of 2024, and about a month or so ago, I gave a presentation to a group as well as sent out my investor letter indicating that 2024 is going to be a difficult year, particularly during the winter months here. We had a massive amount of new real estate properties that have come onto the market, and it was because people were trapped in high mortgages or they had low interest rates and they didn't want to sell. So after Labor Day, everything came into the rental market. People took their properties off the for sale market, decided to become a landlord. So it's putting a lot of pressure on real estate investments today. So I'm going to talk a little bit about some things that we can do right now to make more money in 2024. First thing I want to talk about is no carpet. So carpet, if you can get rid of it, you got these new construction companies that are building all these houses. You don't see any carpet in these houses. It's all hard surface, laminate, vinyl flooring plank, hardwood, something with hard surfaces. Number one, it's going to last you a lot longer. It's going to cost a little bit more up front, but it's going to last you a whole lot longer, number one. Number two, you don't have to pay for carpet cleaning from time to time. Now, tenants a lot of times will be responsible for carpet cleaning, but there are times that you'll need to do that. So if we go to hard surfaces, we're going to avoid a lot of the recurring annual expenses, and it's going to last longer, so the replacement of that is not going to be as frequent. Now, it's going to cost a little bit more upfront to do that, but in the long run, it's going to make you a lot more money. So the second thing is buy durable components. So when you're looking at buying appliances or air conditioners or windows, anything that is going to be there for a while, buy the durable ones, not the cheap ones. You're thinking you're saving money by buying a cheap appliance. Maybe you're one of those fortunate people who have a nice yellow or avocado green refrigerator that was put in the 70s, and those things are going to last forever. But unfortunately, the appliances that you buy today, particularly post-COVID, the components have been cheapened up so much that you're lucky to get 5, 7, maybe 10 years out of an appliance. Whereas if you bought a higher quality, more durable unit, and there are 2 or 3 brands out there that are more durable than others, that will last you 2 or 3 times as long, but only cost 20 to 30% more expensive, you're much better off buying the higher quality, more durable appliance. That's going to save you money in the long term, particularly in your laundry machines. Tenants have a tendency, particularly during move-outs, is they're shoving carpets and dog beds and big comforters and stuff in these washers and dryers, trying to get them clean, before they move, what have you. And it just puts a lot of wear and tear and burden on those cheaper components, and it blows them out. And there's really no way to tell if the tenant blew out the motor because they shoved it full of dog beds. But in the end, if you buy, the stainless steel, the high quality bearings, the components on the motors, if you buy the brands that are known for these components, you're going to be much better off in the long run. Number 3, we want you to remove, or don't buy in the first place, your ice makers and your garbage disposals. Ice makers notoriously break and fail on the inside the refrigerator. So if you're buying a refrigerator, don't buy one with an ice maker. Tenants, it's a little less convenient. They usually don't notice that when they move in, but when they're viewing it. But it's one of those items that if they fail, they're going to fail usually in a couple of different ways. Number one, they're going to get clogged up, break. You're going to have to replace the component. Or number two, they're going to start leaking, and not only is it going to cause moisture and mildew and things, problems inside the refrigerator, but it can leak out onto the floor and cause a lot of damage. And you may not see that damage because it's underneath or behind the refrigerator until it's too late. So ice makers and garbage disposals, we almost always want you to either remove or don't purchase in the first place. All right, now number 4 is to sell. Hope you can see this down here. Sell your older properties and exchange it for a newer property, a new construction, if you can. These older properties, the older they get, the more maintenance, the cast iron drains, the sewer lines, the roofs, the gutters, tree limbs, tree branches, tree roots growing into foundations, foundations crumbling, floors sagging, windows leaking, windows breaking from settling. I could go on and on and on. Door jams getting out of square, so that we got to modify door jams. All these things, appliances, built-in appliances, cabinetry looking out of date. All these things cost you money. They cost you lower rents, and these are the things that make an investment property not so good. So that all that extra maintenance on these older properties. If you buy a new property, depending on what state you live in, here it's you're going to have maintenance free for many, many years. You've got initial 1-year warranties, you've got 2-year warranties, you've got 10-year structural warranties. These things are going to save you a lot of money if you're buying new townhomes or new homes for your rental property instead of the older, maybe a little less expensive, but a lot more maintenance. So keep that in mind. Now, before I go to my 5th item, I've got a couple of bonus topics here. Number 1 is many of our clients, particularly here in January, are looking at paying their taxes. Now, there's a tax strategy called cost segregation. Cost segregation is the process of taking that 27.5-year depreciation that you would normally have on a piece of real estate and segment the components down into shorter classes of depreciation. So for instance, carpeting is a 5-year depreciation. Why depreciate it over 27.5 years when you can depreciate it over 5? Painting, appliances, cabinetry in most cases, all these things can be depreciated at a much faster depreciation schedule, which increases your non-cash expense and reduces, or in many cases can eliminate, your taxable income in the current year. This will increase cash flow in periods where maybe we can't get the rate increases on the rents that we have in the past. And so it's a way to reduce taxes in current years to increase your cash flow. Bonus number 1. Bonus number 2 is take a look at your property insurance. Property insurance has gone up a lot in the last couple of years. Maybe now's the time not to be too dependent on your current agent, and either have your agent shop around and find you new policies, because there are some new ones out there, and there's some new companies out there that are doing some interesting things in the rental market. There are some that specialize specifically in rental properties, and we found that those rates are less but have better or at least as good a coverage as others. So talk to your insurance. We're not an insurance advisor, we're not an insurance agent, but we can direct you to some people that can really help. So those are my 2 bonuses for you. And then the 5th item is, almost at all costs, avoid your turnovers. Now, in order to do that, you've got to be really good at taking care of the tenant. we are a very tenant-centric company, and because of that, we're also very maintenance-centric. So when that refrigerator fails, when that window is leaking, when that faucet is dripping, we're going to be out there quick. We're going to move quick. We're going to satisfy that tenant demand in a way that happens next day. If there's an appliance failure, our suppliers can get those appliance replacements out usually next day. If a water heater goes out, we could have it replaced this evening. Tenants don't like to take cold showers twice. They'll take it once, but they want that water heater fixed. All these things that you can do to make that tenant experience a much greater experience is the solution to avoiding turnovers. You can't raise rents in tough markets, but you can avoid the turnovers, which can be equal to 1 to 2 and sometimes 3 months of rent in terms of total cost when you factor in utilities, remarketing expense, maybe a month of vacancy. That's going to cost you a lot of money. So here are my 5 tips. Sorry it took a little bit longer on the video today, but I hope it was helpful. Have a good day.